Hey ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, you're watching Channel Hot Monkey and I'm back. So after my review on the Windows 10 Game DVR screen recording system, a lot of you guys and gals had one particular question for me, and that is, what certain screen recording software do I use to record my tutorials? Well, obviously I really don't use the Game DVR system built into Windows 10 because first off, it can't even record your mouse cursor, and it can only record one window at a time, and that is when and if you can get it to function properly. The program that I use is another free Microsoft screen recorder called Expressions Encoder Screen Recorder. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can download the free version, install it, and use it to record HD tutorials on your PC or whatever the hell it is that you're doing on your desktop in any case. So stay tuned. Okay, so first things first, we need to download Microsoft Expressions Encoder, and we're going to do it by downloading it from the official Microsoft website. The link is going to be down in the description for you guys so that you can safely download it without any worries of viruses or any malicious programs. So once you open this link, you're going to scroll a bit down. Once you see this big red download button, and you're simply going to click on download, and it's a 24.5 megabyte file, so it's probably going to download relatively quickly. Okay, so once the download is complete, you're going to remember the location where you save the installation file. In my case, it's on my desktop. There it is. So I'm going to double click on it. In Windows 10, we're going to need to give it certain permissions. So we're going to click yes. And basically what you're going to do is copy everything you see me doing in this tutorial, and you should have a successful installation. So right here we're going to accept the terms of use. Right here we're going to check no, and then we're going to click on next. It's going to ask you to choose the programs you want to install. Leave a check mark in the box next to Expressions Encoder 4. In the options section we're going to leave everything the way it is, and we're going to simply click on install. Okay, so I speeded up this part so you didn't have to watch it. It should take you a bit less than 1 minute for the installation to complete, and then finally you're simply going to click on finish. With that, the installation is completed. Now if I go and click on my start menu, I'll click on all programs, and I'm going to scroll down, find the M's, and right here I have a new entry called Microsoft Expression. I'm going to click on that to expand, and with this installation we get two basic programs. One is the screen capture program that we need in order to record our tutorials and screen activities, and the other program is the Expression Encoder software, which we're going to use to encode the raw video format to something that's usable in video editors like Windows Movie Maker, VideoPad, Wondershare, Adobe Premiere Pro, Sony Vegas, or whatever. So the application that we're interested right now for the moment is the screen recorder. It should be the last entry. If we hover over it, you're going to see that it says Microsoft Expression Encoder 4 Screen Capture. So we're going to click on that. And it should open a very simple user interface that looks something like this. Now before we do anything, we're going to go and take a look at the settings for this program. So to do that, you're going to click on this little gear icon right here, and it should open another window. Now the first tab is the screen tab. So what I usually do here is, for the frame rate, I go for 30 or above frames per second. If you want to record in 30 frames per second, it's probably the minimum if you want really high quality videos. If you're able to capture in 60 frames per second, why not? Go for that. But I'm going to leave it at 30 frames per second. For the bit rate, I usually go the highest possible. Down here, the quality, we're going to set it to maximum, so it goes from 1 to 100. By default it's set to 95, but we're going to type in 100. And of course, if you're recording tutorials like I am right now, you always want to capture your mouse pointer, so make sure that this box right here is checked. Now if we go on to the camera tab, this is a section where you would enter certain settings if you want to record a webcam overlay. So if you want to do that, then you would simply click on this little arrow right here, and you would use the camera that is plugged in or that is built into your system. And then of course on the left hand side you would be able to enter certain settings in order to get a certain quality that you prefer. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we're only going to be concentrated on recording screen activities. So moving on to the audio tab, this is where we set our audio settings. If you want to use a microphone, then of course you're going to check the devices that you have plugged into your system. So I'm going to use my microphone when I record my tutorials, so I'm going to put a check mark right here. Down here you have a format. I always go with the highest settings, and for the bitrate I always use the highest level that is at my disposal, so that is 256. Moving on to the hotkey tab, right here you have the option to set hotkeys for the start of your recording, for pausing your recording, for stopping your recording, and finally also for zooming in, but I really doubt you'll be using this option as this program doesn't really have advanced zooming capabilities. On the other tab we have some additional settings that you can mess around for yourself. It gives you certain additional options like to highlight your mouse pointer, to show a countdown before you start recording so that you can maybe prepare yourself better for the beginning. Of course you have other options like beep on start, pause, you can show the recording toolbar, show flashing boundaries, and of course you can use a webcam capture as a overlay. So this is something right here that's not really crucial for the quality of the recording, but there are some additional options here that might be useful for you, so go through these options and see which ones you need, which ones you like, or which ones you just want to skip. The last tab is the help tab. It gives you certain links to privacy statements, help, and it gives you information about this program if you click on the links. We're going to skip this. Once you're done with the settings, you want to click on OK. And then before you start recording, you have some quick settings right here on the main display of the user interface. For example, you have a little microphone icon right here that you can use to quickly toggle on and off your microphone. So if I click on it right now, it's not red. That means that my microphone won't be in use. If I click on it again, it's highlighted in red, which means that my microphone will be in use. And right here, right to its right, you can see I have a little volume indicator that indicates the volume of the input that is going into my microphone. Moving on to the right, we have another button for toggling the camera on and off in a quick fashion. So if I click right here, then I will see a preview of my camera recording, and if I click again, then it's going to be turned off. The settings is something that we finished earlier. Right here we have a capture manager which will open a list of captures that you recently made. We're going to turn that off for now. The button that we're going to be concentrated right now is this little red dot right here, which is the button you're going to use to start your recording. So if you've forgotten your hotkeys, you can always click on this button, and then you're going to see this whole huge rectangle that you can adjust to your preferences. Now if you take a look down here on the bottom right, you can see this little toolbar here that allows me to set which part of my screen I want to record before I actually